Hey, howdy, hey everybody, Suro here. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to take a look at robbed submissions from this most recent week's DreamSnap. And I always like to take a look at these because to me, a lot of the time, they were not robbed because of a legitimate reason. Usually, it's just a reason out of our control, but I still like to always acknowledge everyone's submission, whether it's, the top 100 submissions or all the ranking ones that we saw during reset stream. I like to see the ones that maybe didn't get placed in the rank that many users thought they would. So let's go take a look, share some of these amazing submissions with the rest of the community because they may not have actually been sent out while voting, and that could have resulted in a lower result. So these videos are here to help those users get it seen to some more community members. If you guys do enjoy this video at all, please be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's jump right into it. Alrighty, so I haven't looked at any of these submissions unless I came across one of them during reset stream. So we're going to click up here at the robbed tab in our Discord. If you guys want to join our Discord, a link will be in the description of this video. And let's take a look how many members, quite a few here actually. So let's start at the top. We got Linnea over here, 1500 Moonstones. Let's take a look. So this was for the week of celebration, DreamSnaps, 1 year of celebration. Let's see. So overall, I see there's tons of things going on. You got lots of characters, lots of little detail and stuff. I really love this submission. I wonder if it was because of the lighting in it. Now, you have to remember, depending on what console players are playing on or PC or what monitor or anything like that, if they have their screen a little bit dim, it can result in lower votes if someone has a brighter submission that's a little more easily seen, because I actually have a monitor that shows things much darker than they really are. So getting a nighttime shot is definitely it's really difficult. You have to play with the lights and the shadows and then the different filters and stuff. I wonder if you would have applied the brightness filter, if this would have made it pop a little bit more. Or even maybe a daytime shot. Now your shot overall is incredible. Like for your DreamSnap photo, like I said, you filled up like every little bit of it. It's not too much. I love the angle of it. I like that you have a celebration cake here in the front. You have like so many different characters over here. You even got the DreamSnap trophies. But, during some speed voting, members may not have seen some of this if it was paired up against another like brighter submission. But really amazing job. I think this is an incredible submission. And hopefully going forward, your submission doesn't get robbed again. Oh no, we got Cloud Saf over here that says they didn't get Moonstones. They're tagging this as robbed because I know I submitted, but I guess it didn't register. I stayed up late on Tuesday just to make it because I didn't have time until then. Oh my gosh. So I've actually seen many members mention this kind of thing. They know for a fact they submitted, it didn't work. What I always do, I'm like super paranoid when it comes to this stuff. So I will save my submission and wait around for like 5 minutes and save again. I always double save when I have my finale, like my final submission, and I usually wait a little bit longer just to be sure. So maybe that's something you guys should try doing going forward, and then sometimes the game just will completely rob you and act like you didn't submit something when you did. Now it's such a shame because if you did get this submitted and it got some votes on it, oh my gosh, you would have done so well. Look at the DreamSnap trophies going all the way back, the balloons and everything. This is beautiful. Merlin, the food on the table, your character. This is such a top tier submission. I really hope the game doesn't rob you again and you make sure you get your submissions actually submitted. We got Stealth over here, 2500 Moonstones. Let's take a oh my gosh, look at your path over here. This is beautiful. I love the alternating paths. You have filled out your photo. Dang, look at this. Archway, archway, archway. I am loving that. You got the lanterns, you got some sparkles, but not too many. Multiple characters in your shot. You framed up your photo very nicely. You have food on the back. You got popcorn buckets. all the lampposts, the lighting is really great. Dang, if this isn't the definition of robbed, I don't know what is. 2500 is still a really incredible ranking, and you should be proud of your DreamSnap because this is really, really beautiful. We got McKinley over here. They said only got 900 Moonstones and ranked in the 30,000. I don't understand why I put so much effort into it. So for this one, I think it's pretty close to the same as the first submission we came across. It's a little dark, and you have to remember it depends on the theme of the week. So something like Dreamlight Celebration, I think the majority of the community was going to do something really bright, lots of like explosion of colors. You got balloons, lanterns, sparkles, and that just seemed what most got from it. So when you're going up against that and your photo is very dark, then you could lose out some votes because a lot of people, like, it's just that's just how it is, you know, like our eyes are automatically drawn to bright colors and stuff, especially for a celebration. So even though your photo is set up so perfectly, it's beautiful. You have tons of stuff in it. I think if you would have adjusted the lighting to made it like a very, very bright, then it would have done well. And just for an example, I'm going to show you two submissions up here. So you could go and add a filter, the brightness filter, which could enhance this. So like during this week's DreamSnap, I actually ended up like I was going to submit this photo right here for my DreamSnap, and that's for the current week, and it's Valley Views. So I was going to go with that, but something was just bugging me about it. While I do like nighttime shots, I was like, based on the week, I was like, something's wrong. So then I was like, you know what? Let me try a daytime shot, and then boom, this is what I came out with. And I think this is going to do better going forward for this week, even though I really like my previous one and I like the way that it looks. I think for Valley Views, most shots are going to be mainly like a brighter submission showing off just nature, their valley and stuff. So I did end up making that switch. And I think if you would have maybe done that change as well, that could help out. But we'll have to just see going forward if that actually is some great advice or not. We got Lynn over here. They said not the result I was hoping for, but this is one of my favorite pictures, so I don't really care what. 1,500 Moonstones. Let's take a look. Oh my gosh. If this is not a robbery, I don't know what is. Does this not scream like celebration? Look at all your characters. You got Jack in the perfect animation right here, holding up the present. You have presents down here. Oh my, your foreground, the colors, the food, Mirabelle's house, the archways, all the balloons. I am obsessed with this photo. Let's freaking go. I'm a huge fan of this. I am so sorry you did not get 4K Moonstones because there's no way, like, or even 2,500. I mean, to me, this is like a top 100 submission, but not even getting the 2,500 Moonstones is crazy for the amount of effort you put into this. It's incredible. Awesome, awesome job. And the last one we're going to take a look here is Justia Mora. I really like this one and thought I'd get a better rank. Let's take a look. So 1,200 Moonstones, about rank 24,000. Oh, this is a pretty cool, interesting thing, shot. So another thing is about angles. Sometimes it's really hard to tell if a certain angle is going to work or not. So an angle like this is something I personally would call like a risky shot. And it's mainly due to the fact that I've seen thousands and thousands and thousands of DreamSnaps and rankings, and I've been here every week since DreamSnap, and I've just seen like angles like this do seem risky. And then on top of that, having it as a nighttime shot without a filter on a theme that's usually about bright colors and stuff, I think that could have hindered you a little bit. I always say this lighting is probably one of like the most important things you could do when it comes to a DreamSnap, and the angle and framing of your shot is also really difficult. So like this shot, if you were to take this, it looks really great. Like you have all the characters and stuff, but there's also a certain way, like it depends on the community too and what they're seeking out and what they're looking for. So I actually think your setup is incredible. If you were to lower the camera angle down and you have the trophy right here behind your character and you have all these bing bong wagons with it being daytime, but you had all the characters, everything, same setup, I think it would have ranked so much higher. Literally just pulling the camera angle like a more straight shot, and then having the pop of the different color and stuff. Now, ultimately, at the end of the day, it's always to do what you want to do, no matter what you're going to be proud of and happy with at the end of the day. But in terms of what could have been changed to maybe hit that 4,000 rank, that's just the advice I personally could give out based on what I've seen every single week. Now, just to point out how important lighting can be, because it also comes down to affecting like your candles and stuff in your shot. So like I was showing in those pictures earlier, if I were to take this shot, it looks pretty dang good, right? Like everything is framed up and stuff. If I were to take it at this angle, it might not do as well, especially for a decor challenge. But just switching it to that is like really, it's a game changer. Now, if I were to actually go in here and switch my shot to nighttime without having any lights on or anything, like we've seen in some submissions, it's just hard to see all the little details in my shot, right? So if you ever want to do a nighttime shot, I do recommend trying out filters. So even this filter right here, it brings out the colors of the roof. It actually separates the different layers within my photo. So we go back to this normal, it's just kind of a big blur, right? And some of the filters actually sharpen everything. So you see how it's like looks kind of blurry on the roof. If I were to do this, it actually sharpens almost the outline of everything. A lot of the filters do that because the main lens kind of blurs out a lot of the stuff in the back. So then if I were to use this brightness filter during nighttime, it changes the colors of the sky to like these different purples and everything. And then the normal one is just kind of like that, but then it just really enhances it. So this can really change it up and then switch back to nighttime. As you see, it just has so many like darker shadows going on with it. So those are something you definitely could play around with. You also have the frames that you could do, and you can scroll down as well, but you could do like a black border to get like a cinematic shot. You could add some of these if you're doing a winter shot. Maybe that'll look good. The little white border here looks pretty great too. This filter is always a little too heavy. I don't recommend using that one. But mess around with this stuff. A lot of the times when I see submissions that don't get the rank they usually want, it's mainly due to lighting and not having the right filter. Now, a lot of times having no filter also works, but it has to be the right time of day. So always go into your settings when you're doing your DreamSnap, go to offset time of day, and just mess around with it. So one thing, when I first do my submissions, I always get the lighting the way I want it. So like this, even though this looks like daytime, to me that doesn't look the best. So I want the sun directly on my character. I would go and have it a little bit further. Let's see. So now we're getting there. The sun is almost above my character. Let's go about another hour. And then that looks pretty good. So it's like spot on. Now when I take my submission, boom, my character is shining right now. I mean, she is super bright and beautiful. And then that's another thing you need to keep in mind of, do you want the sun on your character or do you want the sun in the back of the shot? And then that is what you can determine with it in the sky. So you could have it here, here, or over here, or even have it like a sunset shot. And then again, play around with the filters. Sometimes this one is too bright, and then sometimes this one will kind of mellow out the colors a little bit, but it'll change some stuff to like a more orange color, like a orange and brown. And then you also have some other filters here to mess around with, or maybe the natural lighting looks as good or better with this one. So those are just some tips I can give to you guys whenever you're doing these submissions and DreamSnaps. DreamSnaps is definitely a more advanced feature within the game, and it takes weeks and weeks and weeks of perfecting it. And then even if you perfect everything, that doesn't mean you're guaranteed to get a high rank either, because you still have to rely on the algorithm, whether or not your photo gets sent to enough people. You may not have even got it sent out to very many. Maybe the game didn't even send it out to anyone. There's just so much going on with it. And then we do see top tier submissions rank very low. But at the end of the day, there's two things to remember. Always be very proud of the work that you're doing, no matter the rank. Always do a DreamSnap that you are going to be personally happy with. And two, if you get a low rank, that does not mean your submission is bad at all. We've all been robbed so many times throughout DreamSnaps. So don't listen to the game. Don't feel bad. Just do what makes you happy. And I'll see you guys in the next one.